and jangle of metal. Thump-clatter, thump-clatter. As they pass, she sees the colour of their uniforms changing, like a spreading bruise. Blue into green, into gun-metal grey, the shade of a thundercloud. The silence of the crowd presses down on her. She turns back, tilting up her head to reassure herself her mother is still there. When she sees her, Elsa notices that her mother's eyes are glinting, that the tip of her nose has reddened. She is still holding Elsa's hand, but her fingers have loosened. She seems distant, swallowed up by the men and women to her left and right, as if she is no longer Elsa's mother, but simply a person among many others. "Mama!" Elsa whispers. Her mother bends down, leaning on the handle of her umbrella, bringing her lips level to Elsa's ears. "Yes." Her voice is distant, unspooling. "Why are all the men wearing different colours?" Her mother looks at her strangely. "The soldiers wear different uniforms," she says. "Some are in the army, as Papa was, but some are in the Navy or the Air Force." Elsa nods. She recites the names in her head like a poem. Army, Navy, Air Force. Army, Navy, Air Force. The men file on by. It was their next-door neighbour, Mrs. Farrow, who had suggested the trip to London. "They're bringing home an unknown soldier to bury," she said one afternoon, sitting by the bay window of the drawing-room, backlit by the fading sunlight, so that Elsa could make out the fuzzy outline of downy hairs across Mrs. Farrow's cheek. Elsa's mother seemed distracted, but before she could say anything, Clara the maid brought the tea-tray in, tripping over the edge of the woven silk rug and almost sending the crockery spinning to the ground. She managed to right herself just in time, but her cap slipped down her forehead, giving her the appearance of a skittish, one-eyed shire horse. She looked flustered, embarrassed. Elsa felt sorry for her. Her mother sighed and raised her eyebrows. Mrs. Farrow glanced away politely. "Thank you, Clara," her mother said. "That will be all." Clara bobbed her head and mumbled something under her breath. She had often overheard her mother saying the war made it difficult to get good domestic staff. Perhaps now it was over, Clara would go. She hoped not. She liked Clara. Her mother did not immediately respond to what Mrs. Farrow had said, but instead busied herself with the tea. Elsa watched as she poured the milk, a growing pool of white leaking to the edges of the cup. Eventually her mother spoke. "Does it not strike you as being—" She seemed to be searching for the right word. "A little morbid?" Mrs. Farrow laughed. "Alice, the whole war was morbid. I think the burial is intended as a symbol." "A symbol?" She passed the cup of tea across. There was a plate of cucumber sandwiches on the tray, the bread springy and thinly sliced, the translucent green discs slipping out like wet tongues. Elsa looked at them longingly. She was always hungry and hated herself for it. Her father said it was unladylike to display one's appetite so nakedly. "Yes," Mrs. Farrow continued, placing her cup and saucer on the lacquered side table, "all those poor people who were denied a funeral, who did not have a chance to grieve for their fathers or brothers or sons." She dipped her head. There was a small pause. "Or their husbands," she said quietly. The thought seemed to float between the two women, a leaden shadow that redistributed the weighted atmosphere of the room. "But of course, Alice, it's entirely up to you," Mrs. Farrow said. "I merely thought that, as I intended to go and take Bobby with me, you and Elsa might wish to come along too." She stopped, before adding rapidly, "And Horace, of course." The mention of her father's name caused Elsa to breathe in sharply and to hold the air there, deep down in the pit of her stomach, where it would not make a sound. It made her feel small to do this, unnoticeable, a crumpled-up ball of paper that could be flicked to one side. She sat on the chair by the fireplace, not moving, straining to understand what was being said, without appearing to eavesdrop, without drawing attention.